What's going on, everybody? It's Jay the Great here. Welcome back to another stream. For the first time, I'm going to attempt to do a live review and read through of the newest chapters of, as you could tell by the title, JJK and Boruto. I'm obviously caught up with both, including JJK now, which is cool. We're gonna wait a couple minutes for a group of people to come in. Sorry, welcome back to another stream for the first. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be very looking forward to this. What's going on, Obliterate? Thanks for coming in. So yeah, we're going to check out both chapters. I'm going to give my review, I guess, in real time. And if it does well, I'll continue to do this every month. You know, I do enjoy reading manga, and if you guys enjoy this live setting where I review and read through the chapters live, let me know. By the way, another way to let me know is to hit the... Give me a second here, I'll get my soundboard up. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. It's greatly appreciated. It gets up in the algorithm. It also lets me know you guys want more of these. So we're going to wait a few minutes, so like I said, and then we'll get straight to it. I think for you guys wanting to read along, it's on Viz, both, I think, for free. They're on Viz, the new chapters for both manga. Also, even if it's not, I think the subscription's only like $2 a month or something like that. So it's worth it in my opinion, unless you have another website, of course. But yeah. Wait a couple minutes here. Feel free to ask questions throughout, folks, as well. Super chats take priority as always, and members as well. Depending on how this does, I might make this a members only thing. But we'll see. What's going on, Yellow Flash? Brother Boruto chapter was goated. Yeah, I've seen some spoilers. Read the spoiler rough translation chapter. We're going to read the real chapter here today. See what we can extrapolate here, including JJK as well. I'll wait a couple minutes though to see how many people come in, then we'll begin. If this does well, I'll do it every month. If you guys seem to enjoy it, I'll do this every month. I'm even more hyped for what's to come. Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely very intrigued to see where the story is going. It was nice to get a flashback as well. Definitely interested to see the official translation as well. You haven't read it? I've read it, but I read the spoilers, like the unofficial translation. JJK I have not read yet, but Boruto I have. The spoiler rough translation, not the official translation. But yeah, folks, about 2 more minutes. We'll start at 6:50 Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, there's a lot. These new gens are definitely doing well. They're doing well. They're enticing the masses like they should. Very marketable manga currently. Anime as well, especially JJK. Obviously, Boruto's in a hiatus, but but JJK has animated its manga very well. I'm very pleased with the product, just like most of you, I'm sure. Very well done. A second here, folks. Gotta avoid them spoilers. Yeah, I made a spoiler video. That's why I looked at the spoilers intentionally. If you guys want to check that out. Well, I mean, the chapter's out now, but yeah. A second here, folks. Let me get the viz up. About to begin now. We got a minute left and we'll start up. Where is it at? We'll start with Boruto. Start with Boruto first. And then we'll go to JJK. Chapter 5. Let's get it open. Target, Chapter 5. All right. We're about to begin. Let me take the chat one more time, then we'll start. Give me a second, folks, while I do that. All right. Here we go, folks. About to check out this chapter. All right. Feel free to ask any questions, folks. I'll read the chat periodically throughout the read-through in my review of the chapter, but let's go. Here we go, Chapter 5. So last off, as we all know, give a little preface. The last chapter left off with the revelation that Sasuke has been restrained by the Ten-Tail Tree. He's being restrained, and we learn that there is a clone of him known as a Shinju, amongst other Shinju, and we're going to get a backstory here. So, Chapter 5, called Target, has Sasuke on the front cover, obviously foreshadowing that there will be an explanation with his situation. So, let's go on to the next here. Page 1 here. That's good. That's enough for now. Time for a break. So this shows what appears to be a training session between Boruto and Sasuke. Old man Sas, I mean master. What do you think about my Uchiha style? I've fully mastered it now, right? True, this past year I suppose I've taught you almost all my moves and methods I know. Master, that's a rough joke. I was just messing around. There's still a lot you can teach me. Does this face look like it's joking? So he's giving him high praise early on in the chapter. I noticed this in the spoiler as well. He is basically acknowledging that he is a prodigy, right? For Boruto to learn most of his methods and styles in just a year, considering how high caliber of a shinobi is Sasuke has become, not just power-wise, but skill-wise, is very, very, very impressive, I might add. So, next page. Nope, not at all. Come to think of it, I've never heard you crack a joke, Master. You've got talent and you're a quick learner, what they call a genius, aka a prodigy. All the theoretical stuff is in your head already now. Then I have nothing left to teach you, Master. But make no mistake, it's not like you're done training. Don't slack off. Keep practicing, and hone your mind and moves. For what you make of my teachings will be up to you in the end. You're like a lot like Naruto. Again, very high praise. There's not very many shinobi he actually respects to that degree. Naruto he respects highly, very, very highly, I might add. So, what's going on, Batman? Thanks for your name, brother. Checking out Boruto. Spoiler alert, by the way, folks, if you guys aren't caught up with it. Checking out Boruto currently. So this is a training session. Sasuke is basically acknowledging, hey, really not much left for me to teach you. You just got to hone your skills. You are definitely your father's son, and now you just got to refine those skills and become what you want to become. Right? So very telling, very high praise and very telling from Sasuke. You have the same determination in your eyes. He wants to lead me back onto the right path. He's talking about Naruto. After I strayed, it no longer matters to me who you really are. I finally think I understand why Sarada asked me to help you. Something is going on. Something that only you and Sarada can deal with. That's what my gut is telling me. And that's why I mentored you. So he's basically explaining why, despite his memories going against his current actions, he could tell something is off. Maybe he's perceiving a possible warping of his mind, right? He's saying it's very clear that something is going on and that you're not the man my memories are perceiving you to be, right? So very, very telling. Boruto wasn't the best, but part 2 is good, so it made part 1 worth it. Yeah, if you mean the manga, absolutely. I agree. All right, next page. They're discussing here. Damn it. Okay, now it jumps to an altercation with Code here. Damn it, Uchiha, how dare you take my eye? Alright, what are you doing, Boruto? Hurry up and run. How can you say that, Master? I won't abandon you. Listen closely. There's absolutely no way we can win against him at the present. So escape for now, survive at all costs, and build on all the skills I hammered into you. Then there won't be anyone who will be able to stop you. Watch over Sarada for me, Boruto. Okay, so this is basically a very telling panel as well, because what we can deduce is obviously this was in the past, in comparison to chapter 3 and 4, with a much more powerful Boruto who dealt with Code quite easily. Only with a single Rasengan Uzuhiko he was able to defeat Code, while conversely here in the past he's not even able to contend with Code remotely. Sasuke even says there's absolutely no way we can win against him. So it's very obvious that this current Boruto that we are observing is far inferior to the one we see in the present, right, which is chapter 3 and 4. And this also indicates that Sasuke is inferior, which just further illuminates that Boruto surpassed his predecessors, right? He's clearly surpassed this iteration of Sasuke in chapter 3 and 4, and obviously surpassed his former iteration, which we are currently seeing through this, what appears to be a flashback. So that's some scaling for you folks. So at this point in time, Boruto is still pretty inferior. And as we know, No Limiter Code is above Jigen, who wiped the floor with Sasuke and Naruto. At their best, not even nerfed, which this current Sasuke is. So that just shows how powerful Code is. And just furthermore illuminates how powerful Boruto is now, the current Boruto. Alright, next page, Die, Master. Okay, then we see Sasuke appear to attempt to blitz Code. And then here we see him get restrained and disabled by the tree, the Ten-Tailed tree. Here he is, restrained. And what we can deduce is that obviously Sasuke's statement iterating his inferiority is correct. It seems like this fight didn't last very long and that he was restrained quite easily. Right? So, clearly he's inferior to Code. Very inferior. So, alright. I've got this old Master. Alright, so this is where he takes Sasuke's sword. That explanation has come to us, right? He got it from Sasuke's disabled body. that's currently being restrained by the Ten Tails. He's doing this to pay homage to his master. Now we jump to current Boruto. So this is obviously a flashback that current Boruto is having of the past. So that's what we have here. And now we're jumping to current Boruto, back into current time with the events that we saw recently in chapters 3 and 4. So we're back in the present. All right, Konohamaru, this way. Hey, are all of you okay? Another thing I want to say before we continue on is the long hair. A lot of people have been pointing out the long hair Boruto had then at the flashback. He does seem to mirror Madara a little bit. I will say that. The hair is kind of similar. So yeah, it's kind of cool. This is an observation. Sorry, folks. Give me 1 second. My dog's barking. All right, folks, I'm back. Apologies. My dog was barking. I had to check why. Going on, Daira Shikage. What's going on, Dimitri? Feel free to ask any questions, by the way, folks. So we're currently on page 10. Excuse me, 11. On to the next. So we got Konohamaru and what appears to be Chocho, Shikadai, and whatever Sai's son's name is. I always forget. Inojin or something like that. Sorry. Let's continue. So we see Moegi restrained by a ten-tailed tree as well. She was shielding a mom and kid, they said. Moegi, I ain't forgiving him. Neither Code nor Ten-Tails, like duh, same here. Moegi isn't dead, you know. I swear we'll find a way to get her back together. Yes, sir. So apparently they are aware that if you are restrained by the ten-tailed tree, that doesn't mean that you are deceased. Rather that you're only restrained and currently being used for chakra, right? So very telling as well. Next page. Now we jump to a Moegi lookalike, the Shinju. So now we know who she resembles. She's a clone of Moegi, however you say her name. The Inoshika Cho children and Sarutobi Konohamaru can sense their deep sadness and rage. So I said this in my spoiler discussion, but I'll say it again. What this indicates, right, with her stating these statements is that whoever's in the immediate vicinity of the person they are cloned by, or they are cloned to be, they can feel the feelings of those people within that close proximity. There's probably a certain radius that they could feel that, right? Because she's able to feel what the people mourning Moegi are feeling, right? Ino, Shikachoji children, and Konohamaru. She could feel their feelings of despair and sadness, right? I'm interested to see if Edo Tensei will play any role in the second part, even if it's just momentarily to ask for wisdom. I don't think so. I think they have those individuals like Koji, and I doubt it. Perhaps, but I doubt it. Alright, continuing on. It's proof that our awareness is being stimulated. We may be one unit biologically speaking, but Matsuri, those emotions you are feeling seem to be yours alone. Okay, so he's saying that despite them being a part of these individuals that are being cloned, those emotions seem to be yours alone. Interesting. And by the way, it seems this person's name, or this Shinju's name, is Matsuri, so... In short, while we are still a single existence known as the Divine Tree, we are experiencing an unprecedented state in which we each possess independent consciousness. There is no major change to our goal of devouring the Otsutsuki Boruto and Kawaki and evolving into our fallen form. Moreover, there is one thing I'd like to declare to you right now. So, basically, this is a further explanation of the ego that was discussed in chapter 4 by the Shinju, right? They actually express disdain for the ego. They're actually not happy that they have ego because it kind of sort of forces a redirection away from the goals of the actual divine tree, right? In the Ten Tails, they want to have those primal urges to satisfy the goals of the divine tree, all right, or the Ten Tails, so to speak. So very telling. They are aware of their sentient consciousness, but they're not happy about their sentience, if that makes sense. Because it takes away from their goal, right? They're not just pure primal Ten Tails like the ones we saw in chapter 1 and 2, right? All right, so next page. I don't even know why I feel this way. It's an instinctual desire. That's why it seems significant. I'm thinking of devouring Uzumaki Naruto. So they're talking about Naruto himself. And I'm pretty sure they're not aware that he's sealed. Maybe they are. I don't know. That hasn't been revealed. So it jumps to Ida now. The seriously Naruto Uzumaki, why? He ain't in Natsuki, right? Correct. However, we are already a divine tree and are evolving differently than usual. Thus, it appears some changes happening to our instinctual drive as well. So this Shinju is further expressing that because they are derivatives of typical Tento clones, their instincts are evolving in a different way and derived from the original instinct of the divine tree. So they are, in a way, derivatives of the divine tree rather than just pure clones acting out the instincts of the divine tree, right? Like the original typical Tento clones we saw in chapter 1 and 2. Very telling. What's going on, Emperor? What's going on, Luke? Hey Jay, which Boruto hairdo do you like more? Boruto's long in the flashback or the short hair with the headband when he came back to Konoha and Molly the code? Probably due to my bias now, the current hair. I like the long hair. It kind of like does resemble Sasuke and Madara a little, but I do like the current one because every time I think of that Boruto, I think of the one that did Molly code. So, yep. I like the long hair too, though. I do like it. Continue on though. So yeah, they're basically giving through the explanations and dialogue that the Shinji are having. They're giving, or more specifically, Kishimoto is giving us sort of a analysis of how these Shinju function. Right, so they're sentient Shinju, or divine tree clones, or entities that are so advanced that the instinctual drive of the divine tree has been warped by their sentience. Right, and that's why this Shinju wants to devour Naruto. Right, despite the other Shinju pointing out the observation that he's not a Natsuki, so it kind of goes against, or not goes against, but doesn't align with what the divine tree wants itself. Right, so very, very interesting. Very good creative writing decision, I'd say, by Kishimoto as well. So, very well done. All right, next page. Given to your instincts, bend your ear to your inner voice. Do so, and in due time it should come to you, your personal target. Okay. Hey, big sis, what's the matter? So it seems like Ida is currently having a dilemma or something has come to her mind or to her attention. Follow my instincts, then the one that comes to mind is Konohamaru. I might want to eat him. So this is what I said in the spoiler discussion as well. I don't know why Konohamaru would be a target for Shinju. I kind of get Naruto. He's still the Hokage. Yes, he's nerfed, but he's still a shinobi of note. Not to disrespect or diss Konohamaru, but he hasn't displayed anything remotely impressive in Boruto. You got slammed by Koji, and then in the filler in the anime, he had a hard time with I always forget his name. With Sasuke's guy that was part of Taka. Forgot his name for some reason. So many names. So I don't really know why Konohamaru is a target, to be honest. Good choice, Matsuri. I can sense your individual identity. It might be because Moyogi is... Sorry, folks. My dog is sleeping again. Alright, back folks, sorry about that. What's going on, Kedrick? Jugo, yeah, Jugo, that's his name. Sorry folks, it's been a while since I read Shippuden. There's so many names. Chapter was wild, I read it earlier today, I'm not genuinely worried for the main cast. Yeah, the Shinju look very imposing. Very imposing. Alright, so the only explanation I have for this Shinju's attachment to Konohamaru would be the feelings Maogi has for Konohamaru being her sensei, right? For being someone of note and someone to respect. So it makes sense why. That's the only possible explanation as to why Konohamaru would be a target. He's not remotely powerful, but Maogi herself, right? Who this Shinju's a clone of, has an attachment to her, to Konohamaru rather. So. And sorry for leaving again, folks. My dog was barking again. So that's why I was gone for a second. They want to eat the people they have an emotional connection with. Yeah, literally, basically. Yeah. That's why some people are theorizing that this Shinju, the one that says that they want to consume Naruto, is Gaara. It's an interesting theory. It's possible. Let's see what you guys have said, though. What's going on? Seal of Reconciliation? Kedrick? Continue on the next page, though. I just have one question. Exactly what are we? So the Sasuke clone is kind of questioning what they are. Reasonable question, but ultimately it doesn't matter. It's like growing pains, which arise from the manifestation of your ego. Worrying about it is pointless. Again, sort of illustrating the disdain they have for the ego. To them, it's kind of meaningless and actually counterproductive to have ego and to have sentience. So what you ought to do is, what's important, your instinct will reveal that to you, who your target is, and that Hidari will lead to the formation of your identity. Okay, so now it jumps to Ida, the talker of the people who devoured and turned into trees, but the claw grime created these guys. Okay, so it seems like here there's sort of like an astral plane interaction between this Shinju and Ida. That's what it seems like to me. Because obviously they're not physically interacting, right? Because Ida's here and the Shinju are in that other dimension. So they're having sort of like an astral plane interaction within their subconscious, apparently. You're watching it, aren't you, Ida? I've decided my target is you. Interesting. So whoever this Shinju's a clone of had a emotional possible connection to her. Very interesting. Oh, $5 from Kedrick. I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate the $5. I'm checking the chat periodically, so don't worry, I got you. Let me put that on the screen real quick. Gotta pay credit where credit is due. Appreciate that. Give me a second here. Give me a second, folks, so I put that on the screen. Appreciate you, Kedrick. If you could go back in time and prevent what would it be? If you mean in Boruto, or do you mean in general? If you want to expand on that, you don't have to redonate, by the way. I'll still answer. You mean like in Boruto itself, or like in real life? If you mean in Boruto, something I would try to prevent would obviously be Koruma's death, being biased, but yeah, if I had to choose. But I'm being biased, and obviously the story wouldn't be able to progress, really. I mean, either way, these Shinju are probably stronger than even Prime Boruto and Sasuke, but excuse me, Naruto and Sasuke, but second here, folks. Let me put this on the screen real quick. Appreciate you, Kedrick, as always. Put this on the screen. Where is it at? Here we are. All right. Yeah, I would say Kuroma's death, if I had to say. In real life, what would I prevent? If it's in my own life, I mean, I don't know. In my own life? In general, in the real world, maybe prevent war? Or what's a major war? Maybe prevent like World War II, which would prevent a lot of deaths, tens of millions actually. So probably like World War II or something like that. If I could warp time and warp history. Going back to the manga though, appreciate the $5, Kedrick. The Shinju talking to Ida is a claw grime bug. I see. Hey, okay, you okay? Ick, okay. Ida does not like him. The Senrigan, interesting. Uchiha Sarada, my target is Sarada. That's easy to deduce that the Sasuke clone would target Sarada, with Sasuke being the father of Sarada. Makes sense. A good choice. So now it jumps to Amato and Sumire. What is it? Kai. Boruto has returned 3 years after he fled the village, so it appears that here he protected Konoha from Code's surprise attack. Yes, but Konoha is still gunning for his life. He killed the village leader. It can't be helped. I added Akabe's data to Kawaki's retcon karma. All Kawaki has to do is implant karma into a new clone body that I'll prepare. That should be enough to revive Akabe. So this is what I said in the spoiler discussion as well when I was reading this. Amato has more control over these synthetically engineered karmas than we knew, right? He's saying he could still add data to these reconstructed synthetic karmas. He added someone's data to it, Akabe's data to it, so he has more control than meets the eye. That's basically what he's indicating here. It's actually very impressive and just, I would say, a hell of an intellectual feat. How would you stop the Holocaust? Though, since that's why World War II happened. I mean, if I could change time, I'll just kill Hitler or something. I don't know, kill him when he's young, or make him go to art school or some crazy shit. If I had that kind of power. When that bug Shinju clone actually sent to talk to Ida when she used her Senrigan, I was actually terrified of these Shinju. That also implies that the sort of enhancement, well, it indicates the possibility that these Shinju are immune to her sort of charm hacks as well, and probably Damon's intention reflection as well. So. Pretty cold, yeah, I agree. Pretty cold moment. Continuing on, though. You're awfully nonchalant about this. Wouldn't it be problematic for you if Boruto were killed? You wanted him back for your daughter, right? I sprung Boruto out of Kara's clutches with Koji's help to take Ishiki down. Okay, so he's starting to explain himself. After Ishiki's death, I embedded my daughter's data when I reconstructed Boruto's dispelled karma because karmic resurrection is the only way to restore a human soul, exactly as it was. So obviously, one of his major motives is his daughter's resurrection. Right? He attempted to do so with Delta. It wasn't his daughter per se. It looks like her, but wasn't her per se. So he's trying to use reconstructed karmas to bring back his daughter. Which is why I need Boruto alive. That's what you're getting at, right, Kake? In regards to Kawaki, who also was a karma, his body is a scientific ninja tool, and yet no one seems to know who modified him or when, despite him being the Hokage's son. But the truth is, it is clear I'm the one who made those modifications. So this is another intellectual feat, honestly. I'm going to explain further after I read this. How do you know such a thing? Because it wouldn't be anyone else. The signs that prove it's my handiwork can be found all over him. It's a scientist's habit, just like how an artist leaves their mark on a piece they create. It's the same thing with karma. I can instantly tell if it's one I reconstructed or not. For some reason, the special karma contains Akabe's data is on Kawaki's palm. So he's able to deduce via blatant empirical evidence that his memories are deceiving him, as if they've been warped and they're not authentic memories. That's just another intellectual feat. Very impressive, honestly. Orochimaru had the OG karma, making him smarter than Amato. I don't know if that makes him smarter, but he is extremely intelligent. I mean, this guy made karmas that gave guys Otsutsuki-level powers, and he made cyborgs that had relative war potential to Hokage Naruto. I mean, the guy's a genius, And he's even able to decipher that his memories are lying to him because he deems empirical evidence even more, I would say, solid evidence than even his own mind. That's extremely intelligent. This guy's something else, clearly probably the smartest person on earth, to be honest, even above Shikamaru, who can't deduce that his memories are lying to him. So these phenomena completely contradict my memory, but in light of this physical evidence, I must conclude that at least part of my memory has been altered. All right, so that's an intellectual feat, man, right there. To be able to deduce deception within his own memories based off empirical evidence is extremely impressive. Very, very impressive, I might add. That's the only explanation, not to mention that memories are no more than ambiguous figments of thought. See, another just very, very good explanation. As a scientist, there is no proof stronger than physical evidence. Yep. I don't know who did the tampering, but I can say this much: my only priority is the karma containing Akabe, and it isn't Boruto who possesses it. It's Kawaki. Okay. See, off topic, but I'm wondering if I should post my debunk over video on Reddit. The guy doesn't post there, but he got some extra attention and chance for conflict. It's up to you, man, if you want the conflict. But yeah, so this is an intellectual feat from Amato. He is basically indicating that he is the only one on Earth that is capable of reconstructing the karma in the way that he has, and there are physical signs that these karmas are not organic, but reconstructed synthetically. And he says he's the only man that can do that, which is the basically pillar for his premise that his memories have been altered. Right? It just shows his brilliance, honestly. Feel free to ask questions, by the way, folks, while I read. So, by the way, like some of you guys already have. Appreciate it, by the way. Next page, though. Now it jumps to Sai and Shikamaru, who's the current Hokage, as we know. What do you think about what they said, Shikamaru? You're saying that despite being affected by omnipotence, Mr. Amato is aware that his memory was overwritten based on physical evidence. Alright, so Sumire is basically retelling to Sarada what's been said, and I believe Sai is telling Shikamaru, what do you think? I'm sure they listened in to him. They were listening to what he was saying, right? If you see in the previous page, they have like cameras on him, microphones, keeping their tabs on him. I wonder what Shikamaru is going to say as well. But right now it's Sumire and Sarada discussing, who are immune, by the way, obviously to the omnipotence, as we all know. Okay, how can that be when everyone else still insists that Kawaki is Lord Seven's son, even when shown a family photo with Boruto in it? That's because they'll believe their memory over any physical evidence. I think most people aren't capable of doubting their own vivid memory. So basically, Sumire is implying that Amato is a genius and that most individuals can't come to the deduction that their memory is faulty or incorrect of what actually has transpired in the past. But my dad still... So she's talking about her father. Now, this is where Boruto jumps in. Old man Sasuke, or rather Master Sasuke, believed in me. While still doubting his memory, he risked his life to save mine. He's talking to Sarada and Sumire here. For you, Sarada. And this shows Sarada run to Boruto, give him a hug. Clearly, she's missed him. He's been gone for 3 years. So they haven't talked, that's for sure. You're late, stupid Boruto. Sorry, I'm home now. So this seems to be implying that Boruto's going to be around more often in Konoha. That's what seems to be implied by that statement. But that's the chapter, folks. That's chapter 5 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. So we're getting some indications of what these Shinju tell of. Right? We can deduce that each Shinju targets who the original that they're being cloned after has an emotional connection to, right? Moyogi with Konohamaru, Sarada with Sasuke, right? And the other Shinju with Naruto. That's why some are claiming that Gaara is the person that this Shinju's cloned after, right? And then Bug, who's targeting Ida, right? So that's what we have there. They are obviously more powerful than the people they're cloning, and we saw even Boruto to evade Code seemed threatened as well, and we all know the level those guys are at. So these Shinju are quite powerful, and there's even the possibility, theoretically, that Ida's and Damon's abilities won't even work on the Shinju, based off the Bug interaction that Ida seemed to have in that astral plane or whatever subconscious location that was. So very telling. They're very powerful, and they have very interesting sort of complexities to them, I must say. Orochimaru had the OG karma making... Oh, I already read that, my bad. I mean, Orochimaru made it with no knowledge of Otsutsuki, and how do we know Jigen and Ishiki did help him with the karma or told him how it works? He was lying to Ishiki the whole time. Ishiki doesn't know the inner workings of Koji or any of those people. The only thing we do know is that they made a deal, right? Ishiki was going to help him resurrect his daughter. So I highly doubt Ishiki knows the scientific methods and the actual mathematical techniques and implementations of these cyborgs and these karmas. They work together, but I doubt Ishiki has that level of intellectual capacity. He's powerful, but I doubt he has intellectual capacity of Amato. Thoughts about Sarada's post-time skip outfit? I think it's cool. I mean, it's a cool outfit. My favorite outfit is probably Boruto's, out of Kawaki, Sarada, and Boruto. I like Boruto's the most. Yeah, her outfit's alright. Jigen or Ishiki? Who would win in a fight? Ishiki. Yeah. Jura is either Jigen, Gaara, or Kawaki. Jigen, Gaara, or Kawaki. Those are all possibilities. Probably not Kawaki's. Kawaki was shown very recently. So probably not Kawaki. But Gaara I see very possible. Jigen as well. Or Ishiki more specifically. He doesn't look like Gaara to me. It's kind of hard to tell, right? Let me go ahead and look again at him. Let me get a good look at him so we can see who he looks like. Go back here, folks. Give me a second. I want to kind of see. So he's right here. So he has the hair and like the middle piece hair that kind of resembles Jigen with the horn. You can kind of see the Jigen resemblance a little bit. Um, the Gar resemblance, I mean, the hair is kind of similar, not really, but the other clones look almost identical to the people they're cloning, except they have the Renegons and they have like these weird outfits and stuff. So he's not an exact like replica of Gaara per se, like the Sasuke clone or the Moegi clone, right? So because he has Kawaki's mannerisms of always having his hands in his pockets, and he has the connection to Naruto. It's a possibility. I would say the Gaara one's probably more likely, but these other clones look more similar to their uh, original entities, right? Well, that one doesn't really look like Kawaki or Gaara in comparison. Like if we were to deduce a percentage of similarity, if it were Gaara or Kawaki, he'd have the least amount of similarities aesthetically in comparison to Moegi's clone, Matsuri, Bug's clone, and of course Sasuke's clone. Boruto versus Luffy, who you got? I'm not familiar with One Piece, so I really can't answer that. I would deduce Boruto because I'm biased, and I heard Luffy's not that powerful, even after Gear 5. Again, I'm ignorant on One Piece, so I don't know too much about One Piece. I would actually want to know Jigen would have been bitten by a claw grime, Ishiki resurrected in Jigen's body, so it couldn't be him. Yeah, Gaara seems like the most likely. I'm trying to think who else it could possibly be, but excuse me. I'll answer some of your questions, folks, and then I'll jump to JJK. If you guys have any questions, now's the time. About 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll get to the next chapter here of JJK as well. Overall, though, my thoughts on this chapter of Boruto, pretty solid. Sort of another setup chapter, so to speak, setting up the sort of aura that the Shinju carry, setting up their threatening presence, right? Setting up how powerful they most likely are, foreshadowing Amato's ulterior motives with the karmas. I kind of got the implication that Amato has more power than meets the eye with these karmas. Almost as if worse came to worse, he could maybe remote control these Boruto and Kawaki. Almost seems like that's possible. Obviously, not provable, but it seems like he has quite the confidence when it comes to these karmas. So, I mean, Sasuke did good against Code. He beat all the clones, and Code was the only one left. He got restrained. The clones aren't anything to be impressed by. The clones even struggle with Chocho. Chocho was like Chunin was able to whip their ass. So do you think Sasuke purposely got bitten? I feel like it's so. No. I don't think he got purposely bitten. I think he got outmatched by someone even above Jigen. I don't think he got purposely bitten. Sarada's new outfit's still better than her old one. Yukimoto needs to have his hard drive checked for putting into a rather than a mini screw and drawing. Oh yeah. I saw some people had a problem with that. I never really noticed that. That's just weird shit to even. Yeah, I know what you mean though. That is kind of weird. The part where he asks who are we sounds kind of sus. It kind of implies that these Shinju are still relatively new in this world, right? Like they haven't been around very long. Couple years, right? Because Sasuke, the flashback was about 2 years prior, because at that point in time, that was a year from the plot twist. Hence, those events were 2 years from the current events that we currently see. Right? So, it seems these Shinju aren't very aware of the reality yet or of their nature. Seems like they're just starting to like get in touch with themselves. Sorry, folks. I'm back. My dog just keeps barking today. Pain Arc Sage Naruto versus Sage Jiraiya and War Kakashi. Sage Jiraiya and War Kakashi versus Pain Arc Sage Naruto. Honestly, Kakashi might have the speeds to contend with that iteration of Naruto. I'd probably say the latter. Probably. Off the top of my head. he shows relativity in the manga to 6-gate guy, and in the anime he shows relativity to 7-gate guy as far as speed. So yeah. At the end of my debunk, mark the fact the video is a subscriber celebration. Let's see. Also, why does Sasuke's hair look blonde green? The pick in the center. I guess that's how they drew it. I don't know. But yeah, folks, about 3 or 4 minutes, we're gonna jump. Just any final questions you have, and then after, obviously, you can still ask Boruto questions as well. So, I mean, those tuning could probably beat most of the Jonin in the series. I don't know about that. Not all of them are Boruto and Kawaki and Sarada and Mitsuki. I don't know about that. They don't really have that impressive showings, honestly. Besides those 4, major 4. Inojin and Chocho and those people, like, not too impressive. Yeah, folks, a couple more minutes, and then we'll jump to JJK. Let me get it set up, actually. Still on Viz, by the way. I believe it's free, but again, the subscription is like $2, or unless you find it on another website. I just like Viz because it's like the authentic location. But yep. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoy, folks. It lets me know that you guys enjoy these, and maybe I'll do these monthly. Be sure to hit that like button. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the donation, by the way, Kedrick. Appreciate you, brother. Bugger must be hella powerful now to be having Ida shook. Seems like the Shinju in general are quite amplified in comparison to their cloned entities, right? Like Maogi and Sasuke. Sasuke couldn't even deal with code, and the Shinju are scaring Boruto is above code. So I mean, yeah, it's definitely very impressive what these guys are probably capable of. In the anime, they do. I'm not gonna lie, I stopped watching anime after pretty quickly. It bored me because of the filler. Konohamaru got major buff. That will make no sense. I see. All right, folks. 7:30 will begin JJK. Feel free to ask questions about Boruto, by the way, though. Appreciate the $2, Kedrick. Appreciate that, brother. Put that on the screen right quick. Appreciate you, brother. Give me a second here, folks. Yeah, you guys let me know if you enjoy these, folks. If you do, I'll do these more often. A few people asked me to do this, so I decided to try it out and see how you guys enjoy the live reactions to the mangas. Maybe I'll do Dragon Ball Super in the future. There's not much going on right now with Dragon Ball Super, so that's why I'm not really interested in it right now, but in the manga at least. So $2 from Kedrick. Appreciate you, brother. Where would Akashi Koji scale on Shippuden? He would definitely be below code. He struggled with a fatigued Jigen, who was nearly completely stamina-less, right? Or completely exhausted because of his fight with Boruto and Sasuke. It was a cracked vessel, and Koji still failed to beat him. So he's certainly inferior to Code, certainly inferior to Boruto currently. So, other than Boruto vs Kawaki, which Boruto fight are you most excited for? Probably Boruto versus his Sasuke's clone. I want to see how he does one-on-one against the Shinju. I do want to see that. I think it's inevitable. I think that's going to happen. Shinju are planning. They're planning their targets, right? They're lining up who they have in their sights. In the new GBS chapter, Gohan said if he's not sure if even Goku and Vegeta could have beaten Cell Max. Yeah, the argument though is that he means the last iterations he saw, right? Not necessarily current Goku and Vegeta. I haven't read Dragon Ball Super recently. I know that a lot of it was just a re-illustration of the movies, the superhero movie. So that's why I really haven't been that interested. Kawaki versus Juro is going to be lit. That's a fight I want to see as well. Yeah, it's another good one right there. I would like to see Kawaki versus Mitsuki. I mean, there's no reason for them to fight. They're allies, but unless Mitsuki believes Boruto and like turns on him. Jay, do you think the Juro Claw Grind will actually access the Doya dimension and devour Naruto? I doubt it. I doubt that will happen. It's a possibility though, because Sasuke has been removed from the equation by being restrained, but Naruto in a way is restrained currently too. I doubt it, but it's a possibility. The Shinju, we're just learning more and more how capable these guys are. Who knows what else they could accomplish? They already seem very powerful. Probably even above Boruto, to be honest. Even current Boruto, most likely. Most of the trailers I've seen from the DBS manga was people clowning the panel where Tori Toro drew Goten and Trunks with really bad anatomy. Really, I haven't read it. I haven't read in a few chapters because it's just like a real illustration of superhero. Once I see some new things coming, I'll start reading again. The Goten and Trunks stuff was kind of boring in my opinion. Like their adventure they added, like the adventures were kind of lame. Almost like filler in the manga, to be honest, to me, from my eye at least. I'm waiting for some good stuff like Black Frieza versus Gohan or something crazy like that. But all right, folks, I think we're going to jump to JJK. Feel free to keep asking questions, though. Feel free to keep asking questions, of course, about Boruto or whatever you guys want to ask. Think Sasuke could take the Rinnegan for Shinju clone? Possibility. But you could also argue if he is unrestrained, then maybe the clone will dissipate because not Sasuke is no longer feeding him his chakra and stuff. You could argue that. All right, going to JJK now. So chapter 245. Right, last off, we know that Yuta recently killed Kenjaku, who was dealing with a very peculiar curse technique with the comedian. I always forget his name. But now, also, give me a second here, folks. Let me get the chapter up. As we also know, where was I at? Hakari was battling Uraume through that fight. The first page, I see them battling it out here. So Hikari is a very highly respected sorcerer, I might add as well. A lot of people in the fandom deem him as someone that could maybe challenge Sukuna in the future, along with Yuji and Yuta. Which random stream of yours do you think is going to blow up in the views for no reason next? I don't know. It's kind of like the last one that did well got like over 100K. It was a Boruto spoiler discussion, so maybe this one. There's a lot of Boruto stuff happening. And then the one before that, it was just everything just went right that day. Takaba is the GOAT, FX. All right, so 245. It shows in the first page Urahume and Hikari battling it out.
No growling.
All right, so here we go. I've been separated from Master Sukuna. So it's one-on-one now. Hikari versus Urahume. Page 2. Frost Calm strikes with curse energy. In a super cool state to freeze its target, it is the essence of the form of ice formation. All right, so Urahume is flexing his power a little bit with the ice formation. Hikari seemed to have his arm broken off, frozen and broken off by Urahume as well. Also, I've seen people saying that Gojo's undeniably dead now. Why is that? He is dead. I would guess he stays dead. It's possible that Gege brings him back because of how popular he is, but I would assume he's dead because bringing him back will just kind of delegitimize a lot of what's happened recently. Page 4. So we got Hikari here battling Urahume. So this is a quite telling statement here. His regenerative speed is incredible. In that and nothing else, he surpasses even Master Sukuna and Satori Gojo. So his regenerative abilities are even above Sukuna and Gojo's, according to Urahume. That's actually very impressive. So he theoretically has the best regen in the verse, possibly. Besides like Mayorga, who adapts to stuff.
No.
Pretty impressive indeed. Bastard, that didn't stop him. Okay, so it shows him still battling it out. It's quite contentious. They're both going back and forth. They seem to have relative speeds. They're both landing hits on each other in attacks via physical movements or curse techniques. So I found my shoe. I see you're differently now. Sorcerers try hard to retain their humanity, excuse me. So they refrain from using their powers to break what they can break. But their fear of alienation is a weakness. She froze the water pipes so they'd rupture, but you aren't like that. You're different. I don't consider you human anymore. Interesting. So it seems like Hikari is willing to kind of take the gloves off, so to speak, right? Most sorcerers have humanity, right? Like Gojo, for example. The reason why he got sealed during the Shibuya arc was because his attachment to humanity, right? Kenjaku knew, Jogo knew, and the Cursed Spirits knew if they could exploit that weakness, they could probably get him sealed, and it worked. But Hikari doesn't have that sort of vulnerability, so to speak. So, very interesting. So I'll crush you with everything I have. Is humanity the in thing now? A guy I know just said something similar. He's the gloomy sort, but he speaks up when he has to and comes through when it counts, so it really moved me. Which means I've been feeling hot, so let's bring the cold. Alright. So seems things are going to heat up between these two. Seems like the gloves are coming off for both men here. Yuji Itadori stands accused of mass murder in Shibuya on October 31st, 2018. So now it's jumping to Sukuna, and it's jumping to his trial, right, as well, with obviously his current opponents, with Higuruma, with Yuji, etc. So that's where we are currently. Next page here. And Higuruma is using his trial curse domain expansion. So that's actually a pretty cool technique, I might add, by the way. Itadori didn't kill anyone. His confession during the second trial was due to irrational feelings of guilt. The real killer is you, Sukuna. Judgment knows everything about anyone within his domain. Aside from this evidence, however, he does not share that information with me. The verdict depends solely upon our arguments. Okay. So you're trying to argue that Sukuna is to blame and only to blame for the incidents in Shibuya, right? As in the previous trial, the evidence submitted by Judgment must be about Sukuna inside Itadori, and thus contain a detailed record of Sukuna's heinous acts when in possession of the boy's body. Okay. The mass murder in Shinjuku wouldn't have been possible without Sukuna's skill sorcery. So as long as Sukuna's testimony doesn't cause the court to rule out criminal liability or declare him criminally insane, then this evidence should result in a victory for us and the death penalty for Sukuna. And the evidence is not necessarily enough. Interesting. Okay. Your roommate is actually a female, Jay. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't realize that. Alright. I heard the domain's rules when I was inside the boy. I'm only interested in the sword. I don't care for what I did or when. Okay.
You think you're tough, huh?
Let's get this over with. Guilty. Confiscation. Death penalty. Okay. That was quick. Sukuna has something up his sleeve, obviously. He's smiling here. Executioner's sword. I believe Sukuna lost the Ten-Tail Shadows technique in the fight against Gojo. So there's a high possibility that confiscation will fall on Malevolent Shrine. That Sukuna won't have any curse technique to use, but it'll be holding a sword sure to kill. Okay. Therein lies a chance of success that Sukuna's opponents must seize. So the sorcerers from Jujutsu High also take the field. Do you want to die, Higuruma? Interesting. Obviously, that wasn't going to kill Sukuna. I mean, he's a big bad wolf after all. But Sukuna and Higurame had realized that the chance of success was a sham. Okay, if the target of punishment is carrying a curse tool, then confiscation applies, not to a curse technique, but to the curse tool. Alright, that's the chapter, folks. They're much shorter, by the way, than in comparison to Boruto. They come out more commonly, more frequently, but they're shorter. So that's the chapter, sort of a setup chapter of what's to come. Obviously, it seems very likely that Sukuna is going to come out on top against Higuruma. I mean, he failed to use his sort of judgment domain expansion to take him out. He's obviously survived that, and the Executioner's sword doesn't seem to really do the job either. The interesting theory here, I believe Sukuna lost the 10 Shadows technique in the fight against Gojo, so the high possibility that confiscation will fall on Malevolent Shrine. Then Sukuna won't have any curse technique to use, but I'll be holding a sword sure to kill. So he's theorizing that that ability has been removed after his battle. Kind of like a one and done. Alright. Sort of a sub-chapter. I don't really have much to say about those chapters. They're very quick pace in JJK. I don't mind that, but this is sort of like a transition chapter of what's to come. So,
Stop.
yeah, folks, any questions you may have, feel free to ask here. By the way, make sure you hit the like button, folks. So let me know that you guys want these more often. Maybe next time I'll bring on someone from the crew to read with us, like Batman or Shinobi or something, if you guys don't want that. Yeah, folks, any questions? Any questions? I'll stay a little longer to answer any questions you may have about JJK or Boruto. So, all right, folks. Appreciate the $5, Kedrick. Appreciate that. Definitely deserves one of these. All of them do, by the way. Not just that one. Appreciate all the donations. Put that on the screen right quick. By the way, folks, we will be back Saturday as well with another stream, like a typical stream where you guys can ask anything and stuff like that. Hopefully with the whole crew as well. Give me a second here, folks. So I put this on the screen.
Stop it.
Appreciate the $5, Kedrick. Appreciate all of the support. Give me a second here. All right, here it is. So, $5 from Kedrick. Appreciate you, brother. Where are we at? There we go. If you could pick any box from history to fight now, who would you pick? If I could see any live, probably either Sugar Ray Robinson. There's a couple actually. Ali, Duran. Probably Ali, I'd say, in his prime. I'd want to see how that's like live. You know, to see Ali at his best. When he beat Liston, when he beat Frazier. You know, that's the version of Ali I'd want to see. Or maybe Tyson, because I know in the 90s Tyson was an executioner. He was an executioner. So, what do you think Gege will do to have good guys win at this point? And Aspel is looking more and more likely with every new chapter. I think Yuji's going to evolve. Yuji's going to continue to evolve. He's had some quick progressions sorcerer-wise, like against Mahito, for example. Divergent Fist, he mastered that quite quickly. The Black Flash ability. I think he's going to master more techniques. I do believe he's the savior, if I'm being honest. It's Yuji's time now. So through Yuji, I see them maybe not beating Sukuna anytime soon, but at least warding him off right now. Obviously, they're in an altercation with him. Sukuna Smile, when he was ruled the death penalty, was actually funny. He wanted to fight Kurama using the executioner sword so bad. Yeah, he already knew deep down that wasn't going to kill him. It's going to be a long time before he's dead, in my opinion, if I had to predict. Is Yuji evolution going to be an ass pull, though? You can argue that it kind of is already, if we're being technical. The guy's learned insane abilities in the short time he's been a sorcerer, so perhaps. But I don't think Sukuna is going to be defeated anytime soon, which allows me to deduce that he's going to just progress more organically. I don't think he's going to get some ridiculous Baryon mode type power up or anything like that. At least I don't think so. Perhaps to ward off Sukuna, some sort of like untapped power that he could use temporarily, like when Goku used Ultra Instinct or something like that. But I don't think he's going to like magically become Sukuna level anytime soon. I highly doubt that. Sukuna's an obstacle to Yuji now. He is the standard, right? He was even above Gojo. Gojo was the standard previously, but once he battled Sukuna, Sukuna became the standard. Right? So he is basically the one above all. Right? He is the epitome of sorcery and curse technique. And ambition, I might add. Because ideologically, Gojo lacked ambition. He never really had that. In comparison to Sukuna. Sukuna always wants to improve. Gojo was just a prodigy. Not to say Sukuna wasn't, but Gojo only improved out of necessity, right? When Toji almost killed him and when he was sealed. It was the only times he really evolved, power-wise, because he lacks the ambition. Sukuna always wants to evolve. That's why he took Megumi's body, because of the Ten Shadows technique, because of his ambition to want to be the best in the world, in the planet of all time, right? So, let's see. Oops. He's going to be defeated in less than a year. Gege said JJK is ending in 2024. Really? Quite soon. I mean, authors say one thing, and then, they do another. We'll see. He's going to be defeated. Okay. All right, folks. 3 more questions here. I'll stay for a little while longer. This was not meant to be like an actual stream, like a podcast stream, but Keep doing that.
I don't know.
Any questions at all, folks?
You know what? I'm gonna go to my room.
Any questions at all, folks? Stay a little longer. If this does well, though, I'll do these perhaps monthly every time Boruto comes out. Yeah, to rate these chapters, though, I would think the Boruto chapter was better, in my opinion, actually, than the JJK chapter. I'd give Boruto a solid chapter 5 about a 8.5 out of 10. I'd give JJK about a 7.5 out of 10 if I had to give it a rating. As far as the chapters, I mean, these specific chapters. Yeah, folks, a couple more minutes. I'll give you guys some final moments to give some questions if you have any. Stay longer if someone donates, but yeah, these aren't meant to be too long. We'll be back Saturday, of course, with a full podcast as usual. So, by the way, more JJK content coming as well too. I definitely plan on making more content, JJK, besides the typical content I do, which is Naruto and Boruto. So, couple more minutes, and I'll depart. But yeah, the JJK anime though, it's been very very well done. Been watching it here and there. Don't really watch it very often now that I'm caught up with the actual manga because obviously you know what happens. But I'm just seeing how they bring it to life. You know, and it's been very well done. Jogo, killing Nanami and Toji versus Gojo and all those great moments. So Mahito, very well done animations, I might add. So, but all right, folks, I think it's gonna wrap it up. It was meant to be just a read-through review. Great chapters. You guys let me know if you want more of these monthly. I could do these. If you guys want it, I'll deliver. When you guys ask, I shall deliver. But yeah, make sure to hit the like button if you're watching the recording or watching live right now. Get yourself in the algorithm. It's really appreciated. Lets me know you guys like these, and yeah, really appreciate you guys coming out. And I'll see you probably Saturday with another stream. Peace out, y'all.